Hey everybody, how's it going? YouTube really seems to be interested in getting me started with product drops on stream. What does that look like? Like, all right, guys, check out the new card pewter. This thing's awesome, guys. Let me tell you, it's such a good value for the money. It actually, this is a good value for the money. Do you know what this is? This isn't going to autofocus, is it? Yes, it is. Look at that. It autofocused. Made me realize I need to trim my nails. These things are great. These M5 stack things. I also have this is the one that I'm more working on. This is the Tab 5. It looks like it's way more expensive than it is. It's oh my God, don't read my source code. It's yeah, they're I mean, they're kind of like advanced Arduino boards that have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth on them. In this case, though, this one I love because it uses the same batteries that my lights do, like these old Sony batteries, that you just like clip on and clip off. Easily rechargeable, super cheap, and more importantly, it has a big ass screen, and I will be using it with this thing here, which is a vibration sensor, which can record vibrations, and in that way I can view the vibrations there. I'm trying to see if I can make a script in that will normalize all of the values in real time so I can accurately measure infrasound. Wouldn't that be cool? We'll see though. I just really hate the idea of needing to bring up a laptop and open Python to normalize something. I've been doing that a lot. But good news is you could kind of normalize anything into audio data if you wanted to. That I need to do a video on that. Just taking data and listening to it, because it is quite insane the amount of with maybe 50 lines of code you could kind of transform anything into a listenable wave file. What else? It's 2026. Literally nothing has changed. Not that it would, other than the year. Some stuff's closed, I suppose. Shipping takes a little bit longer for things. That's about the effect of a New Year's on my life. A lot of fireworks. Fireworks are annoying. That's about it, though. Kind of scared. I do this sometimes where I think about like weird thoughts that I have where I'm like, what would the conversation be if I talked to myself 1 year ago? Like if it was going in 2025 and the old Ben was like, all right, what's new? I'm like, all right, here's what's happened in the last year in the world. And then I think about what will I be telling myself next year? And usually it's dreadful. Like usually I don't have good feelings about that. Usually I'm always like, yep, it's going to slide down and get worse. But let's not be too negative here. Yeah, a lot of fireworks, a lot of scared dogs. Speaking of data and vibration sensors, your phone has one, which you may know. You have like the accelerometer on there. There's an amazing app. I'm going to recommend this now because it's like actually something everybody needs to know about. It's called Phyphox, Phyphox. If you have Android, you need to download this app. It just gives you access to your sensors on your phone, whether it be like pressure or accelerometer or whatever, and has a bunch of different ways to measure it and interpret it and export data, it's actually really handy for a lot of things. Just reading through the chat here. Yeah, it's not a pocket operator. I've never even used a pocket operator, I don't think. Really appreciate all the journalism and security research around privacy recently from you. Yeah, thanks. I'm like, it's one of those things where I expected to like hang the hat up right away and go back to the normal stuff, and it's kind of took up 6 months. And now I'm turning into that guy. But I think I think there's a lot of cool things to show people. And I don't think it's always has to be negative. And as far as like the flock stuff goes and all that, I think I'm done with reporting on it. I'm not done researching it. I'm just done reporting on it. Like I think the company, their response to things has been poor enough to where, and I mean, like I still have like requests to meet with legislators, like some small, some federal, and it's like, what's the point? I've been doing this for a minute now, and nothing's happened. Nothing will. Not with this administration, or I mean, even with cities. Oakland, for example, you know, the people came out, they attended the meetings, they protested, and the city council said, okay, fuck it. You're right, we're not continuing this flock contract. And then they had like a secret meeting like a month later, and then approved it. Just like, okay, so we're not, if you're not going to do that above board, then I'm not going to report on it anymore. And I'll just send it to some other security people. And if it ends up on GitHub, it ends up on GitHub. Oh, well, wasn't me. Oh, Firefox is available on iPhone as well. Okay, that's good news. That's great news. Everybody has access to the data on their phone. Yes, Denver's mayor did the same. Denver's mayor did, well, he didn't hold a secret council meeting. Austin did that. But yeah, Louis Rossman had a bunch of people come out, and then they delayed it, and then had the vote without with only the flock representatives there. And Denver, they had the meeting, and but the mayor was just like, okay, fuck you, I don't care, I'm going to sign it anyway. Whatever. I mean, it's, I expected that to happen. I didn't expect this stuff to come out and everybody say, oh my God, this, or, every legislator and city official would say, oh my God, we need to get rid of, like, the way that these people act usually is they fought to have this in the first place. They believe the bullshit that they were told about it, and then they repeat that bullshit to their constituents and say, no, this is safety. This is proven to make you safer. We need it. This is proven to make kids safer. It's proven to stop car thefts and drug deals and whatever else. And then obviously all of that data points to one paper that was written by Flock employees, but nobody in the country seemed to have gone to look that up. And now that, all this stuff, the last video, the reason I went and made a third video is because it kind of is like, how can you possibly argue with me reading Flock's statement about how secure they are and how there is no hackers have access to the live devices, with me reading that from a live Flock camera stream that I have access to? Like, you can't really argue with that. And so I was like, well, I got to do that then. I mean, that's, it's kind of like that's kind of the end of the argument. But yeah. And so now you just have people backpedaling, and they, either avoiding it mostly and just having the secret meetings because they don't want to admit that they were misled. It's not even that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they're misled. I don't know, your videos generated a ton of concern amongst people who've never heard of Flock. Yeah, I do think that that's true, and I am very proud of that. I'm very happy about that, and I mean, I owe a lot of that to my patrons. Like, in what other universe would have I been able to spend that much time researching this stuff independently without any company telling me, no, Ben, don't do that. Stay away from it. Or, in the case of John Gainsec, like he had a pretty elite position for a pretty elite security agency. And this is just I can't speak for the company, and I can't speak for him, nor would I want to and put him in legal jeopardy or something. But it sounds like the company just thought, that maybe the company was threatened by Flock. That's what it sounds like to me, that Flock said, hey, maybe he was using some of your computers to do this research, which he wasn't. And then they said, okay, we can't handle this liability. So it's kind of like, so anyway, back to my point. It's interesting that like a YouTube channel and Patreon becomes that like one place where something like that can happen, where some research like that can happen. Even if it was a nonprofit that depended on charity, even if it was a 501c3, like anybody can call in a favor and remove your status. Like, that's why I don't even want a 501c3. I'd rather pay taxes than have a 501c3, just because, yeah, I mean, you're still depending on the federal government to allow you to operate your business in the way that you're operating it. Like you're still giving a review and having somebody look over your numbers every single year. And yeah, when the federal government's also, you know, making millions, if not billions of dollars of deals in private surveillance industries, then yeah, the channel would be over pretty, or that business would be finished pretty quickly. But yeah, but no, so I'm really proud of that. But I think I'm being careful with my words here because I don't want to incite. I don't want to make it sound like I'm inciting anything. But I'm surprised. I think there's going to come a point in this situation, and I hope there comes a point in this situation when people have had enough. And do you know what I'm saying when I say had enough? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they had enough to where they're just going to leave their house and do something about it with all surveillance. Like, I hope that happens because if it gets to, I mean, if there's not enough reform, like if you show the government data, you say, I don't want this, I don't want to pay for it, I don't want it pointed at me, and then we have all of this evidence showing that that we don't have any evidence that it's effective, we have all this evidence that it's insecure, it's allowing foreign adversaries to spy on us, it's not for sale on the dark web, it's all these things, and then if they say, I can't hear you, then maybe it's time to just dismantle the fucking infrastructure yourself. It's not that difficult. I'm not telling anyone to do that, but I mean, yeah, well, it's kind of like, when I've been making these videos, as the outrage has been like getting higher and higher, in a weird way, it's like, we've been really well behaved considering that there's one of these fucking cameras 5 feet off the ground down the block from me. And the fact that I've, spent all this money and gone through all this stuff to try and like do things the right way rather than just shooting the fucking thing. Like, because I want to do it the right way, but nobody else wants to on that side of it. They just want to ignore data and they want to, they don't want to actually fix anything to be. So anyway, fortunately, I'm done with Flock for now. I think the one thing that I want to do with Flock, the only thing, it's not like a video, the one thing I want to finish before I travel later this month, I want to write a paper about how one would plant evidence on the Flock device and the Flock network if one wanted to, how they would delete it, how they would tamper with it, how they could change the date, stuff like that. And then I want to just send that to bar associations, so defense attorneys have evidence or have access to it. Because I do think that that's important. I do think it's like, I do think that anybody whose conviction rides on a Flock camera, I can only speak for Flock because that's the only one that I, effectively did this with. But yeah, anybody whose, prosecution depends on a Flock camera, it's like more or less in a court scenario that can be thrown in the trash now because of all this stuff. My opinion, anyway. I'm not an attorney. Hey, Ed, how are you? All right, let's get going here. Let's get cooking, as the children say. I guess that's condescending, as the kids say. Yeah, so this one's a little different. Ultra. I don't know what I thought. I downloaded the demo. I played with it for like 5 minutes, and then I bought it because I was like, holy fuck, this is actually a... this is the advertising seemed a little hyperbolic, but let me turn down my mic a little bit. If I could find my... All right. My Mackie Big Knob has scratchy pots. And literally it has one job. Okay, so I'm going to run you through this road. Do we not have a chat up here? There we go. All right. Really quickly. I mean, this gets crazy really fast. There's like one thing that this does that's different than everything else. So we'll check that out in a second. But first, we have Ultra Wave, which is probably that last thing that we're going to want to check out. We have analog. Sounds pretty good. I mean, it's not like... we could cross-modulate, which is nice to have it right there. That's not a good way of doing it. We could sync it, sync logarithmically. We could FM exponential. We could FM linear. This doesn't make much sense. I don't know how this works. Is it actually doing the calculation? Oh, it is. Oh, that's actually really handy. Okay. And AM. Which... yeah, okay, cool. And then we have oscillator C, which is a thing. Then we have a noise. This is just... it's like a little more dynamic. And then a sub-oscillator. So probably really good for a Hoover drum and bass sound. Next up, Super. I assume this is just a lot of oscillators. Yeah, this is like the ultimate Hoover synth, isn't it? Oh, I see. And we have this many voices. 21 voices with random phases. What if we don't have random phases? Okay. This is a great way to make a triangle powerful. Yeah, it gets nasty fast, which is what I really like about it. But and then we have a sampler, which whatever. I'm not going to load anything in there right now. So Ultrawave is... oh yeah. Also, sorry. Let me. So I assume this is our main envelope. Filter. We don't have that many different filters. We have a resonator. How many bands can we have in our resonator? Oh wow, 16. That's pretty nice. And then cool. Yeah, that's like a extreme talk box. Okay. So to like LFO up something. Let's do that. Pretty basic. The LFOs are pretty customizable. Ooh, up to 100 hertz. How many points can we add in here? Just one? Oh yeah, we have presets. Okay. And then a random. And then I believe that we can get, so we could select a random level from other places. I really like that. So if you wanted to select a random from like, you know, the activity of another LFO or something like that, or the key that you're pressing. Here's a global trigger. So if we slow it down by a lot, we should have a new, every single time I hit a key, it should give us a new random value on the cutoff. Yeah. Could turn this down. Sweet. Okay. Was there anything interesting going on in the envelopes? I don't think. Oh yeah, there's an arpeggiator. The reverb is okay. Have a plate as well. Fun. Can we go back to init? Every stream. One thing I don't like about this is a shop. I don't like shops and plugins. I will always not like shops and plugins. It pisses me off. I don't like it. But whatever. Here we are. I only say it once, unless it bothers me, unless it interrupts my session at some point. Then I will not. Yeah. I just don't. Who buys shit from shops and plugins? like does anybody in this stream, anybody watching this, does anybody buy shit from shops and plugins? Like when you get a plugin and it has a shop in it, do you like bust out your credit card and buy presets? I can't imagine doing that. Like it just seems like the polar opposite of making music. Yeah, one that I liked Utonic. I liked the Utonic's Beatarium, Dromarium, whatever it was called. That was nice. You could just kind of like download random beats that people have made and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you didn't buy them, but I don't know. This whole shopping in the plugin thing is just, it pisses me off and I hate it. And whatever. I am glad that I am not. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't seem to be. I will tell you one thing though. To me, I do like that you could preview just by clicking on it, you could preview the presets. All right, so here we have a wavetable. Hooray! If I could remember how to change that wavetable. We have a save, we have a 3D view. So we're getting to serum levels now. And then we have strings. This one took a minute. Oh, okay. So yeah, this loads pretty long wavetables. Which is my number one issue with wavetables, is that they're never long enough. So it's like almost like a mix between a sampler and a wavetable instrument. I mean, so let's like, LFO up to this guy. I mean, you know, it's like getting there. It's... And then if you want to delete your mod source, you could do that. I will show you what it's doing different than Vital. Maybe I'll... This is my classic drum loop folder from last week. God, that's such a good beat. Let's just drop that in. Use automatic. Okay. This is the engine version of it. And then we'll do this in the actual... Okay, I gotta remember how to open the, how to actually open that editor again. I think, oh yeah, there it is, never mind. Okay, yeah, so this is where it gets bonkers. This is what immediately made me buy it. Let's see if I can turn the volume up a little bit. So we have our cycles. We have pitch curves from the original sound. So like if we turned our pitch curves off, I think we just did that. Then we have our amplitude curves. So I guess if we only want to listen to the pitch, oh, this will be weird. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so cycles, now that's like what is synthesizing it. Like what the actual tone is that synth, like the waveform shape of the synth. So if we wanted to choose a function, like only have prime harmonics. I'll turn the amp curves off. Actually, maybe turn the pitch curves off, or down. So fade edges, normalize cycles. And then filter the cycles so it's softer. And then maybe we can remove the fundamental. And then I wonder if we could like normalize it again. Yeah. You can make it mono. Or it could stay stereo. Oh no, we just made it mono. Can we undo? Can we undo that major fuck up? Maybe not. We could shuffle, reduce. There's so much crazy stuff. Reverse positions. Oh yeah, we can undo here. Okay. So I'm going to go back to normalize cycles. Stretch to fit. What does that even mean, I wonder? Shuffle. We could smooth the amplitude, which is interesting. And the pitch as well. I do wish, I mean, maybe you can, and I'm just not seeing it, but I do wish that you could scale the pitch. I do wish that you could place everything. That would be really nice if you could like select it all and have it all fit into a particular scale. I just don't see an option to do that, but that would be really... Yeah, okay, so let's get out of this. And now... we could affect how much the pitch is, or we could change how much the pitch is affecting this overall tone. And then we could also change the speed. And then if we want to make it sound a little bit sharper, we have all this wavetable warping. Kind of want to just make a macro that is connected to everything. And maybe that much speed, so now we could just go. Yeah, it's an interesting, be like, check out this new beat. And then might as well just can we LFO this? Maybe not. Maybe that's too much. So yeah, we started with this and ended up there. I wonder what. I mean, I guess we could import any data. Go through some of these other factory drums. Maybe I didn't download those. Factory guitars. Oh wow. Just taking a look through these. Cycle trip. Put a little bit of release. That's nice. Sounds like very vintage, doesn't it? Like it does sound like I have an analog synthesizer. Oh, we could snap to key. Everybody loves a snap to key. Speaking of keys, I'd like to hear. Am I an octave down on this keyboard? Could be the plug-in, could be me being an octave down on the keyboard and not realizing it. Nope. Vince Guaraldi chords are the worst. I mean, they're the best, but they're also the worst. There's like no way you can play. It's like in so many ways when you play them, they don't sound good, but maybe they'll sound good with this. All right. Nope. Yeah, they still sound weird. Huh. Visco girls. I don't even know that meme. I temporarily hired a camera person who I didn't know I was like, what? And then proceeded to say something about Visco girls. And I was like, oh, okay. Isn't that an app? Yeah. The chords I'm talking about, by the way, are like they just, it only works on like soft pianos that are somewhat in a higher register except for the lower B. Yeah, and then I believe it. Yeah, anyway. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. Yeah, I think I only had Visco for the film effects. Back when, like, every single camera app didn't have film effects in it. I want to see what's going on in the Wavetable, though. Why is it so loud here? Guess we'll just have to keep our eye on this. Okay, so we could add a pitch curve from something else. Import audio. That'd be cool if we could import CSV. It is fascinating to look at it. And then we could normalize the cycles, right? Remove fundamental. Oh wow, so it blends out of a sine. That's really cool. Can we like... Oh, nice. So we could change up our left and rights. I mean, might as well bring in a pitch curve just to see what it does. Maybe we have like some sort of pitched sample that isn't terrible. God damn it. I mean, actually, this... Can we bring that in just for the amplitude? So I guess this would be our amplitude curve. I feel like I may have done this. Yeah, I don't want the pitch curve. Ah, there we go. Import amp curve. All right. Oh, I think I have to like save it or something. And then if we want to import that pitch curve. Wow. That's so bizarre. Yeah, you could really make some very organic sounds. Kind of want a harp. Uh-oh. We got a crash, maybe. This does kind of seem like spectral resynthesis, like it's, make sure I don't have anything proprietary behind this. Nope, I don't. Okay. From my experience, every plugin crashes FL Studio when it first comes out. Or every plugin like crashes in FL Studio when it first comes out. I think it's just because it seems like plugin developers always use Ableton. And then like, I don't know, that just from my experiences, they're always like, oh yeah, we didn't even open it in FL Studio. Like it'll be like in beta, it'll be like almost ready to be released, and I'll be like, so it is the most used DAW in the world by quite a wide margin right now. Yeah, like this is weird. I'm excited to... Oh, okay, so it's just a sampler. Never mind. Never mind, it's not that weird. So these are just samples, okay. Is there anything special going on in the samples? I think it's just an addition. But can this stuff get brought into Ultrawave? Ow. Yeah, so this one, like, bringing out the fundamentals would be nice. Or, sorry, bringing out harmonics would be nice. Prime harmonics. Fourier synthesis, the next big thing. We need a delay that is warbly. Let's see if we can do that. This might be better with that little bit of pitch off. That's what I was trying to do with the delay. Wow, so that's like exactly a seventh, huh? All right, let's try those chords again. That sub's a little overwhelming. Arturia's granular. Is that the effects one, or are you talking about? I mean, Pigments has granular in it. Pigments is great. Pigments is worth every penny. Just the interface alone is worth every penny. Kind of want to add another filter that's a resonator with a tiny bit of mix and a whole lot of bands. I kind of want to bring in my, well, yeah, I guess like you could get distracted and lost in this. I feel like if I'm just playing something and not talking for a long time, that's usually my endorsement plugin. If I'm just like, yeah, I don't care about streaming. I'm just gonna make a noise. Then that's usually means it's a good thing. Let me go. I have a library of SDR nonsense. Let's see, recordings. Just weird sounds. Oh yeah, FT8, I think. Ah yeah, the old Wi-Fi rhythm. Apparently I've just recorded hours of this. Wow. Okay. Let's load the sweeper in. Oh yeah, there's gonna be some hardcore pitch detection on this one. Speaking of ghosts trying to get in touch with me, anybody see Pluribus, the new Vince Gilligan show? I just watched a few. I didn't finish it. I watched a few episodes in the last week, and I was like, damn, this is okay. This is my type of existential crazy show. Yeah. That actress too. God, the one who played Kim Wexler, but Jesus Christ, I cannot remember actresses' names. It's a bad name. Like, it's a name that where, like, if you were like set up on a blind date with that person and you heard their name first, you'd be like, ooh, no, I'm good. It's like Rita Horn, like some sort of weird. Yeah, I was close. Rhea Seahorn. It's like, yeah, my friend Rhea Seahorn's coming in town. She wants to go out to dinner. She wants to meet a man. Like, I don't know. Yeah, The Chair Company's great too. Those are like the only two modern shows that I've watched. Yeah, The Chair Company cracked me up so much. Yeah, what I really, really, really love about The Chair Company is that it really didn't like it doesn't treat itself like a comedy at all, which I really like. Like for example, No Country for Old Men, like that has I think it won an Oscar. It's like it has rave. I love the movie. It's a brilliant film. I love like all Coen Brothers things. But it's a comedy. It's so funny because the first time I saw it, I was like, oh wow, I don't know what to think. That's crazy. And then I watched it again. Go over my. Nope, sorry, wrong window. Yeah, and I watched it again, like a year after seeing it in the theater, and then I live scored it at a club called Sonatech in Chicago with a quartet because it doesn't have any music. And it was like we used to do like a monthly thing where we would live score films publicly on the lowdown because you don't want to get destroyed by the Motion Picture Association for having film performances, but yeah, so we did like a lot of older films. We did Y Tu Mama Tambien, which is an amazing film that has no music in it except for like one little scene. And then same thing, Old Country for No Men. It has no music. And so we did like maybe, I remember like I wrote the score in one sitting, like watching it through and pausing it and like writing the quick score. And then a few days later, we had like a quick rehearsal, and then I think we did like a rehearsal at the venue before the show started, and then we played the show. And, so in like 1 week, I had watched the film 5 times, and I realized it then, hey, this is a comedy. I never realized, I wish I could play you a clip without getting, copyrighted. Like the coin flip scene's a great example. Like, that's a comedy. Like that's a legitimate and then once you see the pure comedy in that it's not meant to be scary, that it's actually meant to be like so absurdly, like the intimidation factor is so absurd that it's actually hilarious. Like you have no idea what's going on. Nobody in that scene understands what's happening, which is like my favorite part of it to like break it down. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember it. As much as I can. He says, the gas station attendant says, is something wrong? And he goes, with what? With anything? Is something wrong with anything? That's what you're asking me? And then the guy goes, well, we're closing up. And he goes, you don't know what you're talking about. And then the other guy, what time do you close? Around dark. Dark is not a time. It's like the most ridiculous back and forth ever. And neither character has any idea what they're doing or what's going on. And that's what I like love about it so much, is it's like the most absurd level of comedy and genius of Coen Brothers. But like once you watch that scene and like get like, I feel like that's when it's the most accessible. Then it follows you for the rest of the film. Like you realize that there's like not a serious thing in the film. And that's what I love about it so much. But yeah, anyway, also the Fargo TV series, which I'm sure 90% of the people in this chat have seen, the Fargo TV series is also like, I mean, it's produced by the Coen brothers, but that in some ways is like more Coen brothers than Coen brothers, like in terms of like the writing and directing. Yeah, even in the scene in the police station when he's like strangling the guy with the handcuffs, like that's humor. Like that's not serious. And like once you see it that way, you're like, oh God, this isn't supposed to be scary. This is supposed to be scary. So there's only like one cycle this entire thing. Oh, and they're all like in the same place. No, they're not. Never mind. Let's make it more squarey. This is a very long one too. Can we like just, I guess we could filter the cycles. Well, no, let's just normalize them. Maybe not, I don't know. Then odd harmonics. I'm just playing around. Yeah, we need to like edit that waveform if we're gonna. Some of these are way too long. What was that main? Recordings. Wow, okay, that's weird. We'll bring this one in instead.
Try to find me a starting place. Those almost found this. The man's led by the Holy Ghost. It's no embarrassment to just stand up here and just act like you don't know where to go.
Just random radio tidbits. Okay, so we could import. Oh, but we also need to bring this into cycles. We might have to start over. Because I definitely don't know what I'm doing. All right. Okay, now we could. Ooh, this one has attacks too. All right, I'm going to remove this. So, what happens when you load this in wavetable mode? Oh, wow. Okay, I see now. Oh, and we're also sliding between these 3 samples here. Delete. Okay, so how about we have an LFO, move this wavetable position around. We got something here. You're not going to believe this, but let me play a gigantic chord. Well, 8 voices. My CPU is at 14. $15. Yeah, I don't think it really stresses it beyond 20%. And this is running on a Raspberry Pi 3. So, no, I'm joking. I think it's an i7. But not terrible. It's like actually I have a new computer in the other. I just literally haven't had time to set it up. Plan to as soon as this video is edited. Yeah, I kind of realized like, oh God, I have like a 5-year-old computer, which, is fine. There's no shame in having a 5-year-old computer, but when you're editing 4K video and struggling with it, you're like, might be time. Yeah, I got an i9. Here's a funny thing about my my new computer. I have 23090s. Sorry, 25090s. I bought more RAM than I thought I would need, but it was just because, like, when I make a 45-minute 4K video, that RAM gets used up. And this is like October, early October, late September, early October when I was shopping for this stuff. 8 terabyte SSD, and then like a backup for it. And then like all the other SSDs from this machine, I'll go into that one. And yeah, and like I just got so busy with everything, I didn't have a chance to set it up. And then it kind of dawned on me like, oh dude, if something goes wrong with this, like I'm past the return window. So yeah, it's all assembled. I just haven't booted it yet. Like it posted, but I haven't like installed anything on it. And I was just like, oh, this is going to be a nightmare. Like what if one of these, what if the RAM just doesn't work past an hour or something? Like I'm so dumb for letting this slip. And now that I'm looking at RAM prices and drive prices, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I lucked out so much. Like I literally have a I literally have a like I think my hard drive and RAM prices probably tripled since then. Like it's so crazy how much memory costs right now. From what I assume it's going to get better quickly. My prediction is that RAM and memory prices we're gonna see a little bit of relief with them. I mean, they're at crisis levels now. Like nobody can get a new computer sanely, at least. Like nobody can build a new computer. Cameron, talk him out of this. Venus Theory. He was sending me links to an Acer. It's like an Acer gaming system for his like video editing and studio machine. And I was like, Jesus Christ, don't do that. And he was like, no, I'll just put some of the parts into my old machine. I'm like, you can't do that with like an Acer because they make like proprietary connectors and shit. It's terrible. It's an end. But Don't you have a don't you have 2 years guarantee in US? No. We don't have shit in the US. It's the fucking Wild West here. Now, we usually have 15 to 30 days. Most electronics is 15. Sometimes if you get it from like Amazon, it'll be like 30. They'll just lump it into their normal return rate. If you buy something after Thanksgiving, on a lot of sites, they will give you to January 31st because it's like a gift return window. But the same G-Skill Flare 64 gigs is $900. Oh my God. Yeah, I think I have like 128 gigs in the new machine. And I think it was like, $400 or something. I don't think it was. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Acer's fine. I think I have an Acer laptop, actually. It's in the other, I don't even know the brand. That's how cool I am. I don't even know the brand of my laptop. I feel like that is like an extraordinarily cool thing to say. To be like, I literally have not looked at. Yeah, it is an Acer because every time, when I first got it, every time I turned it on, it would say Predator and then go make this fucking noise, which is like, I just want to walk into a room with like whoever made that decision around their board table. Like, yeah, no, we're going to brand this. When they press it, so that way when somebody goes to a cafe with this laptop around a bunch of, kids and women, and they open up their big beefy gaming laptop and they press the power button and it makes a loud noise to get a loud threatening fucking sword slice sound. So everybody looks over and then it just says Predator on the screen. That was a really good look. It's not embarrassing and terrible at all. Yeah, it took me and there was like not an easy option to get rid of that. Like I had to actually go in and spend an hour rooting around the BIOS to like customize things to get that going. But yeah, just terrible. That like, you know what? That is evidence to me that they did not have one American or Canadian on the design team. Or like, in anywhere in that approval process. I don't even know where Acer's from, but I guarantee they're not an American company if that got through somehow. Yeah, it is a jet engine. It's literally loud. Like that laptop is so loud that it's like distracting to work on. Like I legitimately, like other people, if I'm like, in a hotel room working on something with someone or something, they're usually like, Jesus Christ, they get really distracted by how loud the laptop is. I don't really give a shit though. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I usually have headphones on when I'm working on my laptop anyway. But yeah, it's a good laptop. I mean, it's lasted me longer than like an MSI has and stuff like that. But yeah, the desktop, they use it's kind of shitty. So they like, from my understanding, they get like licensing deals from a lot of like microcontroller, but whatever, they like pay the patent fee and get and then they put it into their own boards, or they have custom boards that are made just to fit that desktop, not laptop, desktop. And then a lot of times the power connectors are different. I've seen that quite a few times with like Acer, HP. Does HP still make laptops? Whatever. With, just these bigger brand laptops. And yeah, and so if you try to just bring your motherboard out and put it into your other case, all of a sudden, there is no testing to know that it'll work with your RAM or with a specific, like because it's just not something you're supposed to be doing. Also may void your warranty. The whole thing's kind of fucky. So yeah, I would say that like if you absolutely needed a new PC right now, like a similar site to iBuyPower might be the way to do it, because they have a warehouse full of stuff that like maybe hasn't seen the higher memory prices, and you could just get a pre-build there, which you'd pay a few $100s extra for. But yeah, Wi-Fi drivers on a laptop. Is it a laptop Wi-Fi driver issue? Laptops are I don't know. I'm trying to think if I have so many Wi-Fi cards, but they're for like, security stuff, and they all have yeah, they're just a different. I have a bunch for a different reason. Like they each kind of do their own thing. A lot of alpha cards and stuff. But well, good luck. At least at least a Wi-Fi card is cheap. They're usually not that expensive in case the radio on it's dead or something like that. I finally got fed up with Windows being Windows though, and I have over to Mac. It's got its own quirks. Yeah, my problem with Mac. So here's my problem with Mac. I posted something on. I posted like a thread a few months ago, saying that kind of was a popular one, saying I'm like bleeding everywhere. I elbow bleeding from a previous scrape. Yeah, I have I only have one Mac here now. No, I think I have a Mac Mini too, but that was like part of something else. But yeah, so I basically posted something saying like, hey, I would probably, how much would you pay for a Windows license and installation that didn't have any bullshit? It didn't have, Cortana, Copilot, didn't have OneDrive, Microsoft Teams, all that shit is just gone. It never tries to install it on your system again. You're on the up and up. You still have support. You still, you're not like secretly uninstalling something. How much would you pay for that? And yeah, and I thought, like, honestly, considering how often I'm using a computer, like as long as the license was transferable, as long as I could be like, using it on my laptop and on my PC, like easily I'd pay $1,000 for it. Like that's kind of a good deal. Like, when you think about it, like if you had a solid operating system that was like running efficiently, that did as many things as Windows did. But yeah, so you could, but just basically customizable as Linux is. And like the number one response was everybody was like, well, yeah, well, that's why you need to get a Mac. And I thought that was kind of mind boggling. Like that. And again, I don't like participating in the like Mac versus PC thing or the Xbox versus PlayStation thing or the iPhone versus Android thing. I don't like it. I don't have a dog in the fight. But, well, if I do have a dog in the fight, I personally think that Mac is worse than PC for that, because all the shit that Mac installs in Mac OS is on a read-only partition. So like you can't even go to GitHub to like find something to just, or spend an hour in Windows Terminal getting rid of it. Like you're just stuck with it. You can't do it's always there. You can't free it up. You can't delete it. And I think that should be illegal. I think that's like insane that the FTC allows that. That's crazy. But I heard there's a script to remove all that for Windows 11. There's a couple. The best way to do it is uninstall. There's a way that you can modify the installer. And when you do that, you're setting up all of your blocks, like to block further installation and stuff like that. But also, you're not even installing the component. So like, if you ran one of the scripts on GitHub, it might work forever. It could work just fine. And I have run this. I've run it on a bunch of computers. There's like a common thing. I try to get this shit off my machine as soon as possible. The problem with it is that like they leave breadcrumbs all over your drive that you don't or it's like a shared component or something. And then when there's a Windows update, it'll just sort of like grab that data and reinstall something, or just start bugging you with some bullshit again. And I think what the installer does is it kind of just it doesn't even begin with the breadcrumbs. Like, so it's almost as if like Copilot is in its own archive that gets extracted and then installed. And I think it just blocks that from installing in the first place, so you don't have any of the breadcrumbs. Again, I'm speaking out of like half from reading it on various forums, trying to understand how this all works. And, but yeah, Windows very quickly figured out that there's more money to be made in harvesting data than there is in selling licenses, which sucks. I mean, I like that Windows is free, but it's pretty bad now. It's pretty terrible. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's one of those things where it's like I use Linux quite a bit now, but I'm not moving to Linux. I'm just because like how am I going to edit video in Linux? And like someone will say, oh, you could run DaVinci Resolve in Wine. No, you can't. You can't edit like a 45-minute 4K video with 25 layers and 25 visual layers and like 10 sound layers. You can't do that in Wine. It's just like it's never going to happen. It's going to crash. I've tried. Yeah. So I don't know, but it all sucks. It also, and I mean, Linux is not great either. Like I feel like most people who are sick of Windows and Mac, they're kind of Linux evangelists. And like, yeah, I mean, I think my number one issue with Linux that I see a lot is people who use Linux tell you that Linux solves all of your problems. They're very pro Linux. Any sort of problem you have on the computer, they tell you to use Linux. They tell you how easy it is. They make you sound stupid for not using Linux, and that you're just doing yourself and everyone you work with a disservice by not using Linux. And then the moment you have a problem, and you go to that same community, or you try and figure that out, that's when it's like they hit a punch-in clock to where they tell you that you're supposed to. Well, no, you have to learn the terminal. Like, you have to learn Bash. You have to. Like, you can't use Linux without using Bash. And it's like, well, you didn't fucking say that a month ago when you were telling me that Linux would solve my problems. Oh, well, you have to, like, learn Python. Like, you have to be able to write a Python script to be able to do something. Well, yeah, obviously, you have to. Like, oh, no. Well, you have to be able to, like, type in a command to edit your DNS settings. You have to be able to know which number your Wi-Fi adapter and Ethernet adapter is if you want to turn one off. Like, there's so many things where it's just like, yeah, where the support just dies, and then you're meant to feel like an idiot for not knowing how to use it. Yeah, I mean, I have like simple Linux commands that are like written down on various parts around my studio here, just because like, yeah, it's hard to remember with everything else. Yeah. Sorry, I'm checking up on these comments. Where is it? Here it is. I have many. Yeah, this little mini computer right here is it's running Dragon OS, which is a Linux build for radio and security stuff. I've probably spent 3 to 4 hours trying to get VNC working on it. Any VNC, tiny VNC, Tiger VNC, tiny VNC, any VNC to work on it. And it just, it's like I have a window open with like a forum of somebody trying to do it unsuccessfully, going between things. I have the documentation for different VNCs. I have fucking Gemini, asking Gemini how to do it, leading me into rabbit holes that go nowhere. And it's like, yeah, that's why people don't use Linux, because they can't click something and it installs it like in an easy package, because there's so many different versions of Linux and so many different binaries and libraries that have to be particular to each one for even simple things like, or no, I mean, VNC isn't a simple program, but that is something that like is a very common thing that, anybody who uses VNC needs VNC on their machines. That's what they expect, especially if it's a headless one. I got a Ubuntu partition where from time to time I try to recover a Time Machine backup. Yeah, I can't even imagine how difficult that is. Ugh. I think I'd prefer to note down commands rather than digging through the slow and laggy settings like menu in Windows. So, and again, I'm not being a Windows evangelist. I'm the first person to complain about Windows. Windows Terminal, I mean, if you want to learn commands and memorize them, you could kind of do anything with Windows Terminal. I think that is, if you want to, be fair, Windows Terminal's come a long way. I still have my complaints about it, but yeah, if you like commands, you could. I mean, I do a lot of stuff in Windows Terminal, especially in terms of like, for example, I downloaded a bunch of like many days of satellite data directly from a weather satellite, and it just like shots of the Earth, but like one out of, I don't know, maybe actually probably 3 out of 4 shots were not the shots I wanted. They were like long form wave reflections or something like that. They weren't just images of clouds on the Earth. So I had to, so I mean, and we're talking like 5,000 files. And so I had to weed out the ones that I wanted, and they had like their own specific naming mechanism. And like, yeah, Windows Terminal done. Like it's a few commands and you have the whole thing done. Whereas obviously in Windows, in the actual window, you would be miserable trying to, select the right ones with the naming scheme or search for the correct thing with like your star and your with the little asterisk. But yeah. Yeah, so I don't say, for some reason I never say PowerShell. I always say Windows Terminal in my head. But I do mean PowerShell. Maybe I just hate PowerShell, the name of it. I don't mind using it that much. Except for the / before every command. I need to get rid of that. I don't know. I guess that's the stream, huh? I'm bleeding. Am I still bleeding? Yes. I would show you my bloody rag. I'm not like Donald Trump, where apparently he's bleeding when he gives people high fives, but no, I was climbing up my hill, my mountain today with the dogs, and just, it's not bad. It's not painful. It's just annoying. I just skinned myself. I heard Linux Mint is one of the closest to Windows. So here's the issue, right? If you want a Linux distro to respond to emails with and update your calendar, and like maybe, I mean, it's like if you want one for like web browsing and menial work, then yeah, like Mint is amazing. It's great for that. But the moment you have to install something a little bit more particular, that's when you want something that's a lot more common. That's when you want like an Ubuntu or, something that's like, just because there's slightly different libraries, different binaries, and then all of a sudden you run into a situation where you just want to install something and nobody has an answer for you, and now you have to like try and you have to troubleshoot to be able to install it, just because, it's there. I don't know how many Linux Mint users there are, but I assume it's not nearly as many as other distros. So yeah, it's one of the weird things. It's like you have an easy to use one, but the more commonly used one is actually going to be the one that's easier to use once you actually have to emulate a Windows program on Wine, or something a little bit more. Those Benn adventures. Yeah, my sounds adventurous. I guess it was adventurous. I walked my dogs down the mountain into a little neighborhood at the bottom, and then I looked up and I saw my studio in the distance in the woods, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to climb the mountain in the woods. We'll do it that way. And I let the dogs off the leash, and they had the time of their life. And then, out of breath, but as I was almost to the top, I took a spill and landed on a downed tree log on my elbows, because I know how to drop fall from judo, and then I skinned my elbow. Do you upload your streams somewhere, or are they gone once you are done? They are, they're here on YouTube. If you just go to like my channel and go to live, it'll show, you'll probably see over 100 of them. I think, I don't know. I mean, it does for me. Maybe it's hidden from other people. I've never actually checked. I'm very, very, very low effort on this stream channel. The only reason I do streaming is just I like being in touch with my Patreon community here, Discord community, and it's fun. It's a good reason to check out software and stuff. But I always told myself that like if this streaming channel starts getting like 300 simultaneous viewers or something like that, I'm just gonna make a new one. just change it and make a new channel and start there. Just because like I don't want it to be something where I have to like hire someone to help or worry about misrepresenting a piece of software or something. I want it to be like only casual and only for the community. But oh, okay, yeah, sorry. So it's on the Benn Live channel. That's where I'm assuming that's where you're seeing this, right? Whatever channel you're on now, that's my streaming channel. As of right now, I don't think I can even stream to my main channel. I don't think I have it set up. I think I've like kind of locked it down on purpose just to make sure that in case anybody ever broke into it so they couldn't just start a weird crypto thing. Not sure if I'll give you the bad feeling of being an influencer, but I bought Outgrowth after seeing your demo. I never buy plugins impulsively. No, I mean, that's fine. That's great. I don't mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind recommending things or showing somebody something and they want to. The big issue I have with influencing is the process of someone giving me money to do. So I bought Outgrowth, and then the developer showed up in the chat, just like today. The developer showed up in the chat. These are all things I bought. I paid full price for. I didn't get a discount, no coupon, nothing like that. And I liked it, or whatever. I had my opinion on it, and I just showed it to my viewers. There's nothing ethically problematic with that, in my opinion. But it's when a software developer offers me $1,000 to feature something on a stream, and then I'm put in this place where if I don't like it, I'm an asshole for taking $1,000 and telling you I don't like it, right? Because like I know I'm not stupid. I know that they want that recommendation. That's why they're paying for it. So therefore, it puts me in a weird ethical place between the two that I just don't like being in. And I mean, but obviously, if I were like desperate or something, so it's hard for me to shit on influencers who do that. Because yeah, it's like, well, obviously, if you need the money, if you have a family that needs money, then like it's a lot easier to do. My big issue though, like one thing I don't understand, and I don't want to call anybody out by name, but there's a lot of channels who have like sold to private equity and stuff like that, and other ones who just take like ridiculous sponsorships. And what I don't understand is like if you're a YouTuber or a creator and your channel's successful, like if you're making long form content, you have millions of views. If that's happening, you're probably able to make good money just off of advertising and then like Patreon community, whatever else, maybe merch, something. And so when a VPN company comes along and, so if you're making hand over foot money and a VPN company comes along and wants to sponsor your video, what I don't understand, especially with the highest order of creators financially, is like, isn't the point of being successful financially, to me at least, the point of being successful financially is so when somebody tries to tell you to do something you don't want to do, you can tell them to fuck off. I don't need it. That's fine. Like, and like I've used this example before. If Elon Musk came up my driveway right now and said, "Hey, Ben, I really like your content. I'm turning a new leaf. I'll pay you whatever amount of money you want to include me in a couple of your videos, just in the scientific research stuff." There's no amount of money that I would take. I mean, it until you cross over into charity. Like if he's going to give $1 billion to charity or something, yes, great. That I can't say no to that. But to just me, if it was only going to me, it's not going to really change my life that much enough to like sacrifice all the stuff I worked for. That's the whole point of like, that's why I've always wanted to make money in my life. Was like the reason I've been greedy about anything or hard to negotiate with, or the reason I've saved up and invested was so I can say fuck you when somebody offers me money to do something I don't like. So so I don't understand that when comedians like Bill Burr have perform in Saudi Arabia for $1 million or whatever. Like, I don't get it. It's like, dude, you don't need the money. I assume you don't need the money. Don't, like, why would you do that if you don't need the money? It's not going to change anything. It's not going to actually, like, is there something in your life that you don't have that money could buy that you can't afford? Like, I don't, that's usually not the case. I don't know. But, I like how Atari Teenage Riot got ripped off for a Sony commercial and then donated all income. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Akai shitstorm. That was, the funny thing about that though, the Akai shitstorm is the company, Akai, making that critical video actually like put me in touch with some people at Akai who I don't even do gear videos. I still talk to them. Like one just wish me happy holidays. But other YouTube creators had a fucking fit because I didn't like the same, or other musicians. But yeah, that's kind of the funny thing is like the company didn't really yell at me. They weren't angry. They made good on it, and they still occasionally reach out to me like, hey, we're releasing this. We're thinking about doing this. What do you think about that? And just stuff like that. I don't know. Sometimes being critical is useful, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. So, I work with Ground News, but the only reason two reasons I work with Ground News is it goes to charity, and then the second one is because I organically use Ground News. Like, they're always like, hey, do you want some codes so you could, load up for a year's subscription? And I'm like, nah, I already paid it off. Like, it has nothing to do with like me standing by my value. It just has to do with like, oh yeah, no, it's a really good way to access news for me. It's like the best way that I know of. So I will use it. And they have a free version as well. And so it's like, I don't really have an issue dedicating a minute in a very long video to that if a whole bunch of money goes to charity. But I think I'm talking, and it's like, yeah, it's not something I don't want to do. I'm not like, going through a bunch of labor and ethical quandaries to talk about Ground News. But, something like BetterHelp or, a lot of these sponsors or a lot of these things where, like, do I want to go make an appearance at CES for, not going to mention their name, but like a random headphone company? Yeah, I can make a lot of money doing that, but guess what? I don't want to. And that's more important to me than whatever money they're going to pay for me. Again, that would change if I had a really bad year and I needed the money to pay my taxes, like things like that are, yeah, I'm trying to say this without sounding like I'm coming off high and mighty or something, because I really don't. People, when people need cash, they need cash, and they'll do things for it. But it's worth noting that like you save up so you don't have to do that. So people don't have leverage over you. I just I cannot understand. I cannot understand the mindset of earning millions of dollars, and then when a company says jump and offers you money, you say how high. Like, I don't get it. Like, what the fuck are you saving for now? Like, you have everything you want. What do you need? I mean, that's kind of how fortunately, I don't want a jet or a helicopter or like a super nice sports car. I don't want anything like that. But like, yeah, audio gear, security gear, science stuff. I'm okay. I've got more stuff than I can spend time using right now. So yeah, I could not, other than like little things like, deodorant and toilet paper. I would probably be annoyed if all my accounts got locked up and I couldn't buy anything for a year, but I'd be fine. Like, it wouldn't be that big of, I could, just go through different things and I might even work better. It reminds me of like, I'm trying to think of a way to say this without saying the band's name, but a very big industrial rock electronic music band had probably $1 million worth of analog and digital synthesizers and recording equipment, and like they didn't know how to use any of it. Like they just had it all, and it was kind of like it was actually very limiting. They would hire people to come show them how to use it or to program it, and I didn't do that, but yeah, I mean that's sort of the thing where it's like, so that's what money buys you, huh? When you don't, when you have more money than you have time. The richest guy of the whole graveyard. Yeah, that's about perfect. Because those guys feel poorer because all their friends are richer than them. I mean that's yeah. And I mean, well, that's one of those things you see a lot of people when they start making good money, they start wanting a BMW. They start wanting, they don't want to buy the pants from Target anymore. Now they want to buy the pants from the store that sells $150 jeans, which, you know, maybe there's some value to it, but like to me, I'm just like, yeah, those just look like logos. It was like I just feel like a sucker. Like I don't want to do that. But yeah, or food. You see people doing that with food too, where they're just like all of a sudden, you know, they make a certain amount of money, and now they're like, I ain't eating McDonald's no more. I'm only gonna, you know, have nice food DoorDash to me, or you know, things like that. And it's like, I think I just grew up too poor to like do that. Like I just feel like an idiot. You know, like I feel personally stupid. But again, me saying that makes me sound like I think other people are stupid for doing it. I just think for me, I can't give that much money away for a specific thing. Dude, the other day I went to Taco Bell with another person and I did not have a feast. I ordered like 3 tacos or something. It was like $32. And I was like, I guess I can't afford Taco Bell anymore. I mean, I can afford Taco Bell, but I was just like, fuck that. I ain't eating here no more. This is insane. How the hell could Taco Bell cost this much? I don't know. Yeah. I'll just eat dog food on stale bread and feel very, and sit on my high horse. Beef Wellington is probably expensive here. Just probably because it's not easy to find. But oh, there goes the fireworks. I don't know if you could hear that. I filtered it out. But anyway, fun stream. Always fun to have a chat. Always fun to play with really. Yeah, Ultra, takeaways. I could think of a couple things that should be added that would be a lot of fun. I could think of things that should be added that would be like huge deals. Importing data, like from CSV or something, would be huge. I think just because you'd be able to, I mean, just from like a marketing perspective, be able to like, let's turn fucking Bitcoin's day into modulation for pitch. Something like that. That's fun. But yeah, I'm glad that I checked it out. I think that it's weird wavetable resynthesis engine. I don't even know if you want to call it resynthesis, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think there's a lot there. I think you could just probably spend a lot of time just dragging and dropping stuff in and then playing with it just to get fun samples that you could work with in music. And then, of course, I would love to see quantizing in the pitch. I would love to be able to like scan the pitch of a voice or a drum set or something, and then like in Metasynth, you can snap it to scale automatically. That'd be really fun. All right. Well, Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. I should have a video out hopefully this weekend, unless there's some sort of disaster with it. But it's a long one. It's like 40-something minutes. And yeah, that'll be finally get that out and then continue lifting the old pickaxe up and putting it into the ground for the next one. All right, I will. Oh yeah, next week will be sim selections too, so it'll be fun. All right, take care. Have a great 2026, or your first week of it at least. Bye.